we learned about the concept of the Kohen, and on the one hand, a Kohen seems to, in some ways, be innately at a higher spiritual level. Right? This Kohen gets the first Aliyah. The Kohen has other honors and privileges. On the other hand, we also learned that a Torah scholar takes precedence over a Kohen. So, which is it? I want to share an incredible story about a young man who was recently married back just before the Holocaust time period. I think he lived in a place called Kazhnov. And word got out that the Nazis were coming to town and they were going to be collecting young men for a few days of service to help the war effort. And, people were concerned what exactly these few days of service would be like, and would it really be a few days? So he and his wife agreed he was going to flee town, and he ran away and went to different country. But at some point, the Nazis announced everyone can come back. You don't have to worry. Anyone that left, come back. We're no longer collecting people, and no harm done. So and that was 1940, by the way. And at that point, people were very naive and figured the worst is behind us. Okay, great. Let's put our lives back together. So he starts making his way back. And on the train getting back, there was a stop in another town, and they had to get off the train during the stop. And he tried to sort of remain inconspicuous because he didn't have the proper papers for traveling. But at one point, some guards called him over and he started running away. He got into trouble, and they chased him and they caught him and they started beating him. And he realized this is not going to go well. And they put him against the wall, preparing the firing squad. And he took the opportunity right before they pulled the trigger to scream out, "My name is Yaakov Schwartz. If you hear this, I'm from the city of Kazhnov. Please let my wife know that I've been shot and killed, and she is not in a guna. She is not a trapped woman." And he was shot. And there were some Jewish people looking out the window when this happened. One of them was a rabbi from the community, and the Nazis said, "Come down here." So he came down trembling, knowing he might be in trouble now. And they say, "Open up his bag." He opens up the bag, and inside the bag is the man's talis and tefillin. They said, "You know what? Take out that prayer shawl and wrap him in it. Let's see him pray now." So the rabbi gently, carefully, lovingly starts to wrap Yaakov, who's no longer alive, in his talis. And as he's doing it, he realizes the incredible irony that here the Nazis are trying to embarrass him and the Jewish people, but really they were helping to do exactly what's done when a Jewish person passes away, which is to bury their abdomen in their own talis. So as he's wrapping him, lovingly wrapping him in the talis, and then they order him to bury him. So he buries him in a makeshift grave over there. And once they left, they transported his body back to his town. They were able to inform his wife what had happened, and had a proper funeral. And it was incredible because here this man, people say Jews went like sheep to the slaughter. What did they do to fight back? This was a very different way of fighting back. He didn't pull a trigger, he didn't pull out a knife. But in his last breath, he looked out for his wife to make sure that she would be free to marry someone else and not have to wonder forever, where's my husband? Is he still alive? Did he leave me? Is he okay? That's courage. That's bravery. That is fighting back. So yes, it's true that there is a birthright. And a Kohen has a certain holiness by virtue of how he was born, which includes certain obligations. But at the end of the day, the Torah scholar is still honored more. because we determine our destiny. To quote Albus Dumbledore from Harry Potter series, when Harry Potter was concerned that he had many skill sets and powers similar to Voldemort, Dumbledore said to him, "It's not our powers that make us who we are. It is our choices." So I want to give a blessing to all of us that we should be able to take all of the powers, all the gifts that God has given us, and to use them to make all the right choices.